Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Another video on Grown. The little Suzuki. Yeah. Well, we've done the head and got it all running nicely. I've adjusted the tick over and it's sweet as a nut. And then you start getting a noise. So it looks to me like the alternator bearings have gone bad. So I don't want to go this car, does it? Anyway, we're going to whip the alternator out, see if we can change the bearings. Hopefully we can, because a replacement is about, I think it's about £130 with all discounts and stuff on Euro car parts. I think there's a surcharge of about 20 quid or something, but it's still well over £100. So we're going to see if we can change the bearings. We'll try, shall we? Alright, I'll show you what I mean. And as per normal form for the Suzuki, you don't want to make the noise now.
There it is.
So it played ball after a fashion. So anyway, there it is down there. Not sure how it's going to come out. I presume it's going to have to come out from the bottom. So we're going to get that wheel off, and there's a little under tray bit down there, and have a look from the underside. Under the wheel arch. Right, so we've got to take this panel out, which has got a few clips on it. Do the easy ones first, he says. Got my light over. Oh, there it goes. So, if, oh god, I can't see it. There, right, we can see it. Perhaps if I put you there. Ah, I just smashed myself in the eyes. This is going to be a pain in the bum. It's there anyway. Right, first things first, let's disconnect the battery. Make sure that doesn't touch. Right, so the actual alternator is only held on by a couple of bolts. There's one at the top here. There's one which you can't see right at the bottom. And obviously the electrical terminals are in behind there. But it's a bit of a squeeze. I'm going to undo this one first, and then the one underneath, and then hopefully we'll be able to get the belt off and have a feel. See if it's wrong spanner. So this is a 12mm. Let's get underneath and do the other one. There's the bolt underneath. 14mm head. Yeah, that's that one loose. We should be able to take the belt off now. Back up top. There she goes. Doesn't sound that. I can't see what I'm doing. Well, I can hear it. Well, something's not right with it. There is the terminal there. I've just taken the boot off of it. It is a bit of a fiddle. I'll just about get the socket on it. 10mm. That's just ready to drop, so I'm going to get my magnet. There she is. Now the other plug I'm going to have to try and get from underneath. Right guys, I have got an apology to make. As you can see, the alternator has gone. I'm just trying to edit this, and unfortunately the whole file of me taking it out is corrupted, so I'm now got it in bits. But ultimately that bracket was mounted to the engine. I had to take that out. That was three 12mm headed bolts, and then that was through the bottom of the alternator. I unplugged it and then wiggled it out, but I'm very sorry that that's been missed. Right, so this is where the bracket was. It mounted from there, and one on the side, and I got across the cable. There's the cable I undone, and the big one. That's the big one up there. Okay, sorry guys. Here's the beastie. I have sprayed a little bit of easing oil on it. See if we can get it apart. Doesn't sound too bad, but I don't know, there's something there. I think it's squeaky. So that's 22mm. Got my 22 impact. I'm going to try it with Makita. See if we can get it to go. Ooh! Success! Well, I be. I never expected that to come out that easy. That's good. Next off, start taking these back things off. Let's get some tools together. Got my little put-in pot. These are 8mm. $10mm. Yeah. That helps. Next, we're going to undo these electrical connections. Got to make sure you've got the right size screwdriver for these, otherwise they will strip. And take these off. These are 10mm. Right, next up, I've got to try and separate along here. Not sure how I'm going to do that. I'll try holding this and giving that a tap, see if that makes it start going. It's going. See if I can tap in there to even it out. Maybe, maybe not. Might work. Yeah. I think it's coming out this end. Yes. Spins lovely. Can you see how much slack is in that bearing? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest this on. I could press it out. I could use my press. I'll put this on the press and just push that bearing, push the shaft out of the bearing. This is the first time I've used this in anger. Hope it works alright. Alright, so I've just got a long bolt in the wrong place, so slap that off. Just got to be careful in there, there's obviously brushes in the top. And there she is. Got that out, and then you can see the brushes in there that are sprung back. It's two sets, one in, one out. And that's the spinny roundy bit. That's where the brushes run. Looks quite clean actually. There's a bearing in there, which we've got to try and get out in a minute. And a bearing in there which is held by 4 screws. So let's try this one first. All I've done here is got a socket that's quite nice size in that hole. Obviously it's bigger than the inner race of the bearing. Push back the brushes and gently pushed it down past, and we will push it out on the press on that one. And this side I think we'll just use the back end of that because that'll fit through. Here we've got all the component parts then. I've actually left that socket in there. It's not tight, but it holds the brushes perfectly. So I'm going to leave that for now. Just got my box of nuts and bolts and a pulley. It just needs a bit of a clean up. It's all Pretty good neck actually. A little bit of rust on there, but all good. And the bearings, there are some markings on there, can you see? So I'll have to look these up, see if I can get some replacements. This one, there are some markings on there. So let's find some bearings and have a clean up, and I'll see you when I've got the bits. Here's the parts cleaned. All I did was give them a spray with a sort of electrical cleaner and give them a very light brush. I didn't want to soak them in my bath and stuff, so it's relatively clean. We've got a parcel or a packet, so hopefully, yeah, we've got, oh, the pack's open. 2 bearings. They're saying they're SKF, that's why I asked for SKF, but there's no markings on there, but we'll see. But they look to be the right size. So I think first of all, I'm going to press the big one into there. I got both of these bearings from eBay. They're separate listings, but by the same supplier. But they ended up being around about £6 for the pair. So this bearing's got to go in there, like so. If you haven't got a press, which I'm sure none of you have, or some of you haven't, you can tap it in gently, just get the correct size socket, make sure it's on the outer race, and also make sure that it fits in the hole, because you could damage that if you try and beat that in. And then you can tap it in with a copper hide hammer. You can even use the extension in there, tap it in, try and make sure it's as straight as possible, but we're just going to press this in on the press. Then we put the retainer plate in. 4 screws. Next, I'm going to press this bearing onto there using a little socket that goes nicely over there without damaging it, but also presses on the inner ring. If this had a thread all the way to the end, I'd protect it, but it hasn't, so I can push straight on there. Then this little ring goes on there. Right, now we need to start putting things back in together. I'm just resting that on there because that will slip down through there a treat. Just put it on the socket because it's easier to hold. This one goes on there. Just before you put this one on, just spend just a minute or two lining these up with the holes, so it should slip on. Might be a bit fiddly. Now if this one is a tiny bit tight, don't be scared, just give it a little tap, not much, because the bearings, you may be preloading the bearings with the bolts, so that's good. Yeah, just a little tap, doesn't take much, just that's it. Sweet. So just got to put screws in here on the the connections, tighten these up properly, put the back cover on and the little shield and stuff. Finally, the pulley. There you go, one re-bearinged alternator ready to go back on the car. Just a quick tip on before we go back underneath. These are normally quite tight in there. See that? Quite tight. It's because of this little bush. When you tighten up when you're refitting it, it squishes the bush into the alternator to hold it tight. But this makes it a bit awkward, so that I know is a bit bigger than that. We just bung that like that, we can knock that bush through with a little pin punch. Oh, needs a bit more. And that should give us a bit more wiggle room when we're putting it on. Right, seems we had technical problems when we took this apart. I'm gonna try and show how it goes back together. So we've got the alternator's got to go up first, and then the bracket's got to go up. I can't remember how I got it up there. And the plug at last. Right, so sorry, probably I'll put you on time lapse then. You probably couldn't see much because of my hands, but ultimately we had to get the alternator up first and then put one bolt in of this because the long bolt doesn't fit between the bracket and the chassis, so we had to sort of have one bolt and it all hanging down, put the long bolt through, then put the rest of the bolts in, and then we're just plugged up. Just got to adjust the belt, then we can tighten that one up. Back up top, just got to put this bolt in. There it goes to the bracket. and get that belt up. It's not on the bottom pulley properly yet, but you get the idea. And then, I don't think you can see, got to undo, or got to do up. That bolt down there, which is the connection. You see it there? I don't know if you can. That one there. I'm just going to do that one up. I already connected it from the bottom. So let's put the battery on. Some buzzes. And let's give her a try. Well, no alternator lights. And that, oh, as quiet as it's not nice. Anyway, I think that solved our problem, don't you? Yeah. Excellent. That was just the magnet grabbing that bang. Pop this little tray back on. That's good. All done there. Wheel on and off the jack stands. Right, that's it for the alto alternator. Hopefully. Anyway, if you like the video or find it entertaining or of any use, please give us a thumbs up. It is much appreciated. Please subscribe and to see our other videos. And oh, don't forget our Instagram account if you want to have a look, Larks_workshop. And hope to see you next time. Stay safe. Cheers then.